Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
Welcome back to Gambling with Gold. My name is Jason Gold, and you are listening to episode 23 of our podcast. As always, I am joined by my buddy from the Action Network, Dan Titus. Dan, how are we doing this Tuesday night?
What up, man? It's good timing. It's NBA season just started, coming off of week 6. Crazy, we're already in the week 7 for football, man. That's season's going by, just flying by. So
yeah,
definitely
absolutely. Absolutely, it has. We saw that the Bucks won first game of the NBA season. Their rings look sick. I love that they can turn into necklaces.
So dope. So dope.
Good on them. Never seen that one before. Something really cool. Lakers are playing right now. Hopefully they get a win versus the Warriors, at least from my perspective. But we're here to talk about some football. So week 6, I don't know about for you, but rough one for me. Everybody else, everybody in the public, betting on favorites. Us who consider ourselves a little bit sharp. Maybe betting too many underdogs, at least the last 2 weeks. So, and the one favorite that I would loved, the Cleveland goddamn Browns, decided to put up the biggest clunker of all time in the Arizona Cardinals without their head coach. Might have been a good thing for them. They come out and absolutely wax the Browns in Cleveland. Not a great one for us.
Dude, it was like the week of favorites. And so, yeah, I'm saying, like, I think a lot of the picks that we gave out, I feel like they were still handicapped pretty well. Just people shit the bed, bad play calls, unfortunate events, injuries, injuries to significant people too, right? So I know that happened certainly for your Browns, Kareem Hunt leaving the game, but I don't know. It just feels like the Browns are just cursed right now. Like they're going through tons of injuries on their offensive line. Baker Mayfield's hurt. They have like no receivers left. It's like Donovan Peoples-Jones is the only guy out there. So yeah, man, it was a pretty. I got hit pretty hard by the books this week.
The only good saving grace was a lot of the teasers hit. So I liked a lot of pieces there.
Right.
Those came through. Otherwise, pretty bad. Other than the ugliest game of the week, the one that you convinced me to put in, which was the Jaguars plus 3.5.
Let's go.
We were texting and tweeting at 8 o'clock in the morning, loving that Trevor Lawrence and the grossest game on the board came through for us. So that was good. Love to see that. Let's flush away all of our bad losses from week 6 and move on to week 7.
Sir.
Before we do that, we have 2 Champions Round announcements for giveaways. So these are exciting. We have a Jerry Jeudy and Baker Mayfield jersey. All you got to do is follow us on TikTok at Champions Round for more information on that. If you enter and comment on our TikTok post, you get 1 entry. If you enter our Boost Ball contest, our paid version, which is available now, round 2, week 7 through 12, you get 5 times entry for that. So go ahead and download the Champions Round app and enter those contests, and you have a good chance at Jeudy or Baker Mayfield jersey. We are also giving away a Justin Herbert jersey specifically for this podcast. My guy, Justin Herbert. Only for us. All you have to do is DM us at Champions Round on either Instagram or Twitter with the key phrase Rainbow Herbert. Rainbow Herbert.
Hey.
DM that to us, and you will be entered into winning that jersey. That jersey is really sweet. If no one actually decides to enter, I will be keeping that for myself and framing it and putting it on my wall. So as much as I want you to DM us, I kind of don't. So that's
kind of want that jersey.
It's up to you guys. All right, let's move on to
what's the significance of Rainbow Herbert?
Because it rhymes with Rainbow Sherbert. That's pretty much it.
I like it.
We're not that creative over here. We're not that creative over here. I love it. All right, let's move on to some week 7 lines. Let's look to some look ahead, see if we can play some early bets. I already have one on the board that I already made a mistake on, so we're off to a hot start. Last week, I decided to bet the Houston Texans plus 14.5 against the Cardinals with the thought that Tyrod Taylor would be playing. Now, he still might play, and I might get 14.5 as a good number eventually, but right now, one of my books has this at 18.5, so I might have missed significantly on this line. We'll get to that one in a minute, but let's start off with Thursday Night Football. We have the Denver Broncos traveling to Cleveland to play the Cleveland Browns Thursday night. Cleveland minus 3.5 currently with no players. So who are we trusting now? The Broncos, who are on a 3-game losing streak, who we thought they were at the beginning of the season. The 3 wins at the beginning of the season might have been trash, absolutely playing against trash teams, versus the Cleveland Browns, who are the most injured team in football. So what do you like on this game?
Do you think that this is a trap game? Because with all of the injuries of Cleveland, how are they still favored in this game? And we know that Denver's defense is really solid, but it's really on offense. Teddy Bridgewater's only been throwing to Cortland Sutton, who like is second in air yards in the NFL, which is kind of crazy. But their run game really hasn't impressed too much, and I just don't know what to make of Denver. Going up against Cleveland, whose defense is still straight, but they got torched by Arizona. So you got to expect a bounce back out of Cleveland in some degree. I just don't know that I like that they're favored here. Yeah, it's the line's already moving a little bit closer to it start open at 4.5. Now it's at 3.5. Part of me, I got to go with the dog here. I got to go with Denver. I feel like they're at least in a better shape on a short week. It's going to be hard for Cleveland to just get up and dust themselves off after getting spanked like that.
Yeah, 3.5. I like Denver for sure. 3, I'm probably at a full stay away. I'm probably at a stay away, honestly, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Denver's a teaser piece, bringing up to 9.5. May be intriguing. I anticipate this will probably be a low-scoring game. Denver's defense is still competent, even though they got torched by the Raiders last week. I still think that's a good group. Cleveland's defense, yeah, like you said, like everything broke wrong against them. Field position wise, they were just in bad positions last week against Arizona. I don't think that they're a bad defense at all. So I would anticipate a low scoring game here Thursday night also. So give me plus 3.5 with Denver. It would not be one of my top bets, but I feel like you got to take the hook here.
Yeah, and the under is also trending down too. Opened up at 44. Now it's down to 42.5. I feel like this could even climb even more in the next couple of days just because, who is Cleveland trotting out on offense, man? They're just down to just bodies right now.
Yeah, if you look at a historical trend, which I'm sure Action Network will cover, road dogs that are the point total is under 42 historically covered a really good rate. I think it's like 56 or 57%. So you're at 42.5 right now. You're about to hit that historical trend. So that makes me feel a little bit better about playing Denver also. So yeah, that'll be our pick here. But I do like the teaser plus 9.5. That might be a really good piece to start off the week. Why don't we jump into, let's go into Cincinnati. Cincinnati's plus 7 at Baltimore. At least that's the line right now. It is heavily juiced up, at least on the numbers I'm looking at, plus 7 minus 140. I think you're going to see 6.5 by the end of the week. What do you think about the 4-2 Bengals traveling to the Ravens, who just absolutely demolished the Chargers?
Yeah, I was gonna say I see it. Baltimore is already moving to 6 here, but I like Cincinnati here, man. Like I think we actually saw some life out of their offense. Joe Mixon finally had a day, and we continue to see the emergence of Jamar Chase as honestly, he seems to be one of the better receivers in the league right now, man. It's not even just the fact he's on the Bengals and that he's a rookie; he's killing it. So I got to expect that. Even though Baltimore really impressed against the Chargers. I feel like the Chargers, they caught them with their pants down, essentially, right? Like they couldn't get their run game going. Their injuries that they were battling with Mike Williams, and they really just couldn't get anything going. So I think Cincinnati divisional matchup, this is going to be a little bit more scrappier than most people would anticipate. And with most of the money coming in on Baltimore, coming up after a slaughter of the Chargers, I'm gonna bank on Cincinnati here.
Yeah, so I'm kind of with you on Cincinnati. We were against them last week, or at least I was. I like the Lions in that game. That was trashed. I was doing my updated values for Boost Ball for our Champions Round contest today, and I had Jamar Chase as the wide receiver 11 for the next 6 weeks of the NFL season. So I'm not mad at it, man. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. He's up there now. Also, the run that Joe Mixon had for a touchdown should go to Jamar Chase in fantasy because he absolutely blocked the crap out of that dude all the way down the field. He threw him into the club and then out of the club. It was great. It was one of the most impressive things I've seen from a.
Bro, he threw him all the way to the end zone and then had time to like dance with Mixon in the end zone. Yeah. Like that shit was dope.
He's really, really good. He's really special. There's a reason they won the national championship with him and Justin Jefferson on the other side. I mean, that's about as good as you can get. Very impressive stuff. I like Cincinnati in this situation too. Part of the reason that the Ravens ended up blowing out the Chargers last week is because of the Chargers are so aggressive, and as they should be on these third and fourth downs, and it has worked for them thus far. But if you continually miss on those like they did in this week, you're going to get blown out. It's just you're playing the probabilities to win the game. You don't care about actually keeping the game close and losing close. Right. So you're going to see this as teams get more aggressive and understand these third and fourth down calls. You're actually going to see more blowouts. You're going to see more teams coming from behind and then more blowouts, which is something interesting to think about from a fantasy perspective with these really analytical heavy teams.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that the regression was bound to happen, man. Like Staley was operating at a crazy clip for fourth down conversions, third down conversions, and when you play against a defense like Baltimore that's super disciplined, and one of the better defenses consistently over year, it was bound to come down. I just didn't expect it to come so soon after they were riding so high. Like the Chargers, I mean, we've been talking about the Chargers for the last few weeks as one of those surprising teams that's really showing out, and MVP Herbert for MVP, but yeah, definitely got stopped in the tracks there. But I did notice that the Bengals are 5-2 in their last 7 against Baltimore, so against the spread. So I like Cincinnati. Keep it a little close here.
Yep, I like Joey covers too. Divisional dog, always a good spot to play. You're going to win historically if you just go ahead and do that. So I'll take Baltimore, or I'll take Cincinnati. Probably down to 6. I wouldn't go below 6 here.
Right.
Let's move on to Carolina and the Giants. How's that taste for you? Carolina -3 at the Giants. This is a gross game. Carolina, nice little comeback, but then blew it in overtime. Really bad situation for them. Darnold looks terrible, other than on fourth downs where he turns into Dan Marino or something. He converts all these fourth downs, but it looks terrible otherwise. Meanwhile, the Giants, everybody's hurt. Kadarius Toney looks like this might be a serious ankle injury. They're really thin at wide receiver. Their defense has been terrible all year. And Daniel Jones at home. We're supposed to fade him. What are we going to do in this situation?
Man, the Panthers are so interesting, man, because like they should be so much better. Just given how well they started out, I figured they would have taken, even though they're beating up on lowly teams. You still thought you had a pretty good squad there. Then they got a couple injuries to their defense, but Christian McCaffrey being out for a few more games, that's certainly going to hurt them offensively. And Sam Darnold's totally regressing over the last few weeks. It's like he forgot how to throw the football. So I can't help but like be kind of curious about the Giants here, but at 3 points, this is probably a stay away for me just because this is a pretty uninteresting game. And I wouldn't be surprised if this score ended up like 17-10 or like 14-10 or something gross that just not entertaining. This is one of those skip games.
The over-under right now is 43, so pretty low total here. I'm tempted to take the Giants too, just because they're +3 at home. I do, again, I think that I like this as a teaser piece, 3-9 at home. I think that would be a good option for you guys. Otherwise, I'm probably staying away here until I know more about what Darnold's bringing to the table without McCaffrey in the fold. Kind of a stay away, and I'm not trusting Daniel Jones at home. So give me +9 teaser on the Giants. That's about it.
I like that.
All right. Next one, Washington at Green Bay. Green Bay currently -10, -9.5, something like that in the marketplace. Washington, I mean, their defense is terrible. They got run on by the Chiefs last week. Their offense is going through. I mean, Antonio Gibson, the shin injury looks like it's going to be a real issue for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Scary Terry, a little banged up. Meanwhile, Green Bay, I know they didn't play great last week, but they covered and won. And Aaron Rodgers on Chicago. And can he own Washington this week? 9.5. That's a lot to lay. But I think that I'm kind of leaning towards the Packers here.
Yeah, I feel like this is trap waiting. Look, just a trap game just looking at me here because I feel like Washington, everything is going wrong for them. Yeah. As you said, Antonio Gibson's battling that shin injury with the stress fracture. Terry McLaurin hasn't really gone off in the last few games. Taylor Heineke pretty much just handed them the game. Hasn't really played well in the last couple of weeks either, and their defense is non-existent. But 10 points, I don't know. I feel like maybe the Redskins, the Washington football team kind of surprises us and it keeps it relevant because I don't know. I feel like the Packers are one of those teams that they'll get the W, but they don't do it always in the best way. Like they should be blowing teams out and somehow they always kind of make it interesting. So I don't know, just for sake of argument, I'm definitely not going to bet this game just because I don't trust Washington. I don't trust the football team at all. But if I was to, gun to my head, I'm going to take the dogs here.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big number. My whole feeling is I just think that Green Bay's going to throw all over that Washington secondary, and this could get out of control really quickly. So, give me Green Bay, but this is not going to be one of my top 5 by the end of the week. I can guarantee that. Next one might be. We got Kansas City -5.5 heading to Tennessee. Kansas City coming off of a win, obviously against Washington. Tennessee off of a great Monday Night Football win against the Buffalo Bills. Really impressive stuff, at least offensively. Defensively, they continue to have be a giant liability on that squad, but 4-2 sitting pretty in that really terrible division. So what do you think is going to happen in this one?
Oh, this one's going to be tough because the Chiefs get run all over in that cover 2 defense. And you got to expect King Henry's just going to continue to demolish teams, running it down their throat. Tannehill has much to be desired, but man, I really want to back the Chiefs, but they're also very overrated most of the season here and haven't really been impressed by a lot of their play. Tyreek Hill is a little banged up. Obviously they're down to their second running back here, but Darrell Williams looked like he was fine against the Washington football team. So I don't know. Part of me is kind of like, I want to go Titans here. And at 5.5, this is probably one of the best numbers I don't know. I don't suspect that it's going to change too much, especially after coming off of that win. But give me the Titans here, man. Let me shock the world here. I'm going to go with the dogs. Since the favorites were so heavy and so prevalent last week, I think there may be a little bit return to the mean here and see some dogs actually show out here. And I think they could keep it. If they can run the ball, that's the way you keep Mahomes off the field, and that's what they do best. So I got to feel like they can keep it within 5.5 points.
Yeah, if I see a 6 here, I'm definitely hitting the Titans. No doubt about it. I think the +6, just like we saw against Buffalo, it was like they were +6 at home there. They cover and win. They're not that bad. Look, they may not be great. Tannehill might not be that great, but they can get this done. +6. The Kansas City has not been able to cover. They've had a couple of covers this season, but in general, the last season and a half, they have not been able to cover. 5.5 is a lot. Over under 57. I mean, can I be just super square here and just say it's going to be just bang the over here? Like 57 seems really low. I can see this game being like 40-37 by the time we're done.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go under and say that the Titans somehow surprisingly learned how to play defense, or that they just control the time of possession enough.
Derrick Henry,
to keep it under 57.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that. Derrick Henry lengthens the game, rushes for 200 yards. They have like 40 minutes of time of possession,
right?
And they get the under. Okay.
Did you happen to see the meme of, it was going around of like I think it was Andre Hawkins, the old receiver for the for the Browns. And the Bengals. Yeah, I think he was saying that why did he never see that Derrick Henry runs exactly like Forrest Gump? And it's actually hell. It's so funny. It's like this one. Yeah, they actually did like a whole video reel with the whole shit when he's at Alabama. It was pretty funny.
I gotta follow that. All right, next game we have Atlanta at Miami. Atlanta currently -2.5. This might be my favorite bet of the week, honestly, but I'll let you give you your first take here.
Nice and gross, just how we like it. I feel like I don't know, man. Like Tua showed me something in London, and is it enough that I want to trust him here? I don't know. Part of me wants to trust him. It really does, but I think I'm gonna go with the Falcons here, mainly because I feel like when they're coming off a bye week, which I think Arthur Smith, another week to prepare. Calvin Ridley is going to be back, which is going to be big for them. I like what I saw out of Mike Davis and Cordarrelle Patterson, the way that they used in this kind of 1-2 punch. So the Falcons are a team that I think is going to start to trend up as Matt Ryan continues to get more comfortable in that new offense. Whereas Miami, I don't know that I can trust them. They did beat up on the who did they beat? They beat the
Patriots in week 1.
The Patriots. Yeah, they got one win. Yeah, so they're 1-5. I don't know that they're a good enough team that I can trust them enough, and it's a pretty low margin here for the Falcons. Was it 2.5?
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna trust them there.
This is, I think, gonna be my best bet of the week. I got to bet on Miami. I have to do it. +2.5 at home, coming off of a loss in London. Atlanta coming off of a bye. Everybody thinks that Atlanta coming off of a bye. Everybody thinks Atlanta coming off a bye, they're going to look good. They're going to be healthy. Miami, this is so gross. I cannot see this team dropping to 1-6. I think Brian Flores is going to come in and absolutely destroy Matt Ryan. I think that the Dolphins win this game by 10+ points straight up.
Woo! He's going money line.
I'm going to take the Dolphins.
Hit the points and money line.
Who in the hell, in their right mind, wants to bet on Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins right now? This fucking idiot. Let's go. plus 2.5. That might be my best bet of the weekend.
Dude, Jalen Waddle balled out. There's no reason to think that he can't have a day against Atlanta. The argument's there. This is one of those gross ones that I'm going to have to mull over the course of the week. I don't think that the line's going to move that much with what we've seen out of both teams. But, so for right now, this is probably going to be a stay away for me. But I like where your head's at.
just getting gross, getting in the mud. Got to do it. Got to do it. All right, let's go to the Jets and Patriots. Another really gross game. Jets plus 7.5 currently. Going to New England. New England, obviously off of a very difficult loss in overtime to Dallas. A game in which they kind of controlled, but also gave up 250 more yards. So it was really weird. The Jets coming off of a bye, divisional dog plus 7.5. So I kind of know where I'm leaning. What do you think?
I'm going with the Pats. You get another shot at Belichick going up against a rookie quarterback. The Jets, yeah, they snuck out a win in London, but this team isn't that good. They have to go to Foxborough, which is going to be really tough or Gillette Stadium. And I just don't like their performance against the spread. I know that they got a new regime there, but they're 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 meetings against New England. I can't trust them. I'm going New England.
That's fair. I'm going to go plus 7.5. Give me the divisional dog.
Nice.
I think it's a good spot. I think that the Patriots probably put a lot into last week's game against the Cowboys. They definitely expended a lot of energy.
They did.
And also they scored a lot of points, which makes me think that maybe the under is a good play here. Under 42. Give me the Jets plus 7.5. But I do think New England's going to win 7.5 to 1.5 as a teaser. I don't hate that. I think that's probably a pretty good option. So there's actually a couple little tasty treats here, a couple tasty bets. So give me 7.5 42. All right, we got 6 more games. Let's rattle through them. We have the Lions plus 15 against the Rams. Obviously, Stafford going up against the Lions and Goff going up against his former coach in McVay. What do you think is going to happen here? It's a terrible matchup for the Lions. 15
is such a weird number, man. I don't know how they landed on that one, which makes me scared about it. But I'm going to take the over in that game. I think that even though Goff, I feel like Goff's going to have some kind of revenge narrative to want to toss over McVay and show up Stafford. But ultimately, Detroit, I don't know that they can stay within 15 points after what the Rams just did to the hapless New York Giants. So I got to expect at 15, they could probably cover that. But I'm going to take the over in that just to make sure.
Ooh, I like the over 50.5. That's a nice one. I'll bet on that one too. I'll probably stay away from this game. 15, like you said, it's just such a weird number. So open for the back door. One where McVay just feels bad for the way that Goff went out. Here, have a last second touchdown. Enjoy your cover.
Here's a blown coverage for you. I'm on St. Brown. Yeah.
So I'll probably stay away from that one. I don't want any part of a teaser or anything at minus 15. Let's go to your boys, the Birds, heading out to Vegas plus 3 against the Raiders, who just came off of a very impressive win despite a tumultuous week in Denver. So what do you got in this one?
Man, Birds have been getting spanked by the Raiders in their last 5, 1-4 against the spread. But the road team is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. Give me the Birds here. Minus 3 or plus 3. I'll take it. I think that this is going to be a game where you'll finally see the offense start to click, actually convert some red zone plays. They're going to be facing a good pass rush. But I think that that's Jalen Hurts' strength. He loves playing against the blitz. He's done very well against it. So with how aggressive the Raiders' defensive line is, I think he'll finally exploit it. Maybe we actually see Miles Sanders get the ball more than one time in the first half. That's going to be their best case. So I'm going to ride with the Birds here.
This is a classic Titus and Gold double down because I'm on the Birds too, my friend.
Let's
go. The Raiders this year, I feel like if you're the underdog, you're winning the game straight up. So give me the Birds plus 3. I think it's a great situation for them. They're coming off of a loss to Tampa Bay. Raiders are riding high. We don't need John Gruden. We're the best just as we are. Rich Bisaccia is partying in the locker room or whatever. Guess what? The Birds are coming into town. That place is going to be rocking. I'm sure there's a lot of Eagles fans in and around the area and that are going to be flying in. I think it's all about the Birds this week. Plus 3. Give me that one. That's probably my second best bet of the week. We'll talk about these on Friday, but I have a feeling this will be in my top 5 for sure. We got the next 2 are just gross numbers. Bears plus 13.5 and Tampa Bay. What do you got on this one?
Yeah, the question is what Justin Fields can actually do. We saw him throw for a career high. What did he throw for 214 yards against the Packers? You got to expect him. He's going to have to come out throwing the ball like every other team has gone against the Tampa Bay secondary. Like they're just toast. Richard Sherman's out. They have nobody left. So it's a question of whether Allen Robinson can actually start to play ball and whether Darnell Mooney can find life. And I think Damian Williams should be cleared. He did sit out all last season with COVID or with, opting to play out of the COVID protocols and stuff like that. So he should be back, which should help them. But I don't know. I got to trust the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to just roll all over them because the Chicago defense, while it's been pretty good, you're going to Tampa and I don't know, Brady's not fucking around anymore. So I don't see them really being that competitive.
Tampa's weird because I feel like, the Miami game outside of that, they have like these 2 or 3 series in a row where they just like, okay, here's 17 points, eat this, and then
and
gas
coast
off. Yeah.
Coast.
You can't coast it plus 13.5. The Bears are going to score enough to cover that number. So that scares me a little bit. It's not the best matchup for Tampa Bay's offense. Like Chicago's defense is relatively competent. The Bears should have one of the biggest issue for the Bears is what they want to do is run the ball. Tampa Bay has the best run defense in football. So you're right. Can Fields make plays outside the pocket and throw it down the field to Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney? I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like Fields is going to get sacked a lot in this game. I feel like there's a chance that he gets knocked out of this game at some point. It's a really, really scary situation for him. I'll probably stay away from the 13.5. If I had to take a side, I would probably take the Bears just because the number's so big.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel good about either side here. So stay away from me. Over under 47. Any feeling there?
Ooh, I'm going to go the under on that one. It opened up at 49. Now it's sitting at 47. I wouldn't be surprised to like more to your narrative. Like if they got up pretty early, a 21-3, I could see them just kind of coasting and not really pushing the ball down the field and just running them down with Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette.
All right. Houston plus 18 at the Cardinals right now. Like I said earlier, I've already bet the Texans at plus 14.5. It makes me very sad. If Tyrod's playing, this number is going to go way back down. It's going to go to like 14 or something. So
right.
I might bet it again at 18 if I see any sort of Tyrod news that's positive. I'm hopeful that he plays. If he's not playing, total stay away. I don't want any part. If he's playing, I will take this number, I think, down to 13.5 or 13. I think that he makes that much of a difference. And I'm going to keep fading the Cardinals until I win one of these games. So it's got to happen at some point. You'd figure. I don't know.
I love your commitment. And, having to come back from coming to Cleveland back to home, you got to expect that Arizona is going to be playing really good after being a really good opponent. But 17.5 points, 18.5 in some books. I feel like if I'm probably stay away from me just because I don't know if I can trust the Texans with Davis Mills to go up against the best team in the NFL right now. They're undefeated for a reason. Their defense is playing outside of its mind. And Kyler, even though he's got hurt, man, D-Hop, Rondell Moore, doesn't matter. They just got weapons upon weapons. And I think eventually it's going to wear out the Texans. So 18.5 is just a tough number. And I part of me wants to take it, but probably got to wait. This is probably the time to buy right now because if Tyrod plays, it's only going to go down. So
yeah,
I'll take it right now as of Tuesday. I'll take that at 18.5.
All right, let's do it. Hopefully, Tyrod, if you're listening, please. We're gonna need you for some money.
We need you.
Yeah, we need you bad. Colts plus 4 Sunday Night Football at the San Francisco 49ers. Total is currently over under 44. Kind of leaning the Colts here, and I definitely love the over 44. That might be one of my best bets of the week. I think this is a Sunday night over, which I usually love betting. So give me that one. I got to see if it's Lance or Garoppolo. I'm not really sure here. But if it's Garoppolo, I feel a little bit more confident in San Francisco. If it's Lance, probably a little bit more towards the Colts.
It's a great point. I'm just going to fade Carson Wentz. He's been playing really well. And Jonathan Taylor has been smashing the last couple of weeks. So T.Y. Hilton's back, which seemed to be working really well for the Colts after losing Paris Campbell, who just can't stay healthy. But I got to lean off the bye week, man. I'm going to trust Kyle Shanahan here. He's done a whole bunch of BS so far, and I don't know how or who is going to be starting, and it's a mystery to all of us. But at 2-3, I got to feel like this is where their get-right moment, where they're going to come out and play well. You're going to see a little bit more life out of their defense. Hopefully you'll see a little bit more spark out of their offense as well. So I'm going to take the San Francisco here and see a little bit of a regression from Indianapolis, who riding high off a really good win, but traveling to San Francisco, late game, rocking crowd. Yeah, I'm going to take San Francisco.
The angle on San Francisco that I'm interested in is if any team needed a bye week to get healthy, it's San Francisco. It's always San Francisco.
Dude, their defense got freaking gouged by freaking injury. So, like, yeah, you're right. That was a crucial bye week positioning for them.
So if they're look at the injury report, if it seems like a lot of guys are coming back, like obviously you're not going to have Kittle, he's on IR, but if you get Garoppolo and you get some of the defensive guys a little bit healthier, I could see this being a smash spot at 4. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more that I'm kind of staying away from this one. Okay, we love the over 44 though. All
yes,
right. Monday Night Football. We have the Saints -4.5 coming off a bye at Seattle. The Geno show rolls on after almost beating the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road. Sunday Night Football. Unfortunately, he didn't really get to do much in overtime because the ball came out of his hands. That's what happens with Geno. So, what do you think is going to happen Monday Night Football? Saints -4.5.
Saints after that bye. And, are we going to get a Michael Thomas sighting? We don't know yet, to be determined. But that defensive line is just stout. So, Seattle's been really struggling with their running backs. We don't know if Chris Carson's going to suit up, but Alex Collins is already hurt. They're already talking about bringing back Rashad Penny off the PUP list. Good luck. Good luck for the Seattle Seahawks, because it's not the New Orleans Saints are definitely a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers had they pretty much won off the strength of their defense, not off of Ben Roethlisberger. I think we'll see a more competent Jameis Winston after the bye week and see the Saints really come out on top here. So I'll take the points. I'll lay the points with us, the Saints.
Yeah, I think this is one of the favorites that I'm heavily considering this week would be the Saints, also coming off a bye. They desperately need a win to stay in the playoff race.
Yeah.
And their schedule is about to get really, really difficult. This seems like a layup win for them. I assume that Sean Payton, I actually love the first half for the Saints more than I do the entire game.
I like that angle too.
I think they're going to come out hot. That first 15, that game script, maybe even a first quarter, depending on the ball. I think the Saints come out hot. And I think that Geno's going to really struggle against this Saints defense. They are going to come after him hard. So we're both on the Saints -4.5, which is interesting. Both. Yeah, I mean, both on. Yeah.
Go for I was going to say real quick. I mean, look what Najee Harris did against the Seattle. 81 rushing yards and 67 receiving yards. Imagine that being Alvin Kamara. It's a wrap.
Oh, yeah. I think Kamara might be in store for 200 total yards on Monday Night Football. That might be a good angle to bet. Just everything Kamara overs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The over-under in that game is actually 43.5. I kind of like the over there, too. How about you?
That seems pretty modest, actually. Considering that we saw Geno put up some points, he's still going to have to throw the ball, and he's still got really nice weapons in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So, yeah, give me the over here. They're going to have to keep pace.
All right, we both like the Saints and the over for Monday Night Football. That will do it for episode 23, Gambling with Gold. We will be back on Friday with all of our Week 7 best bets. Until then, remember the Jerry Jeudy jersey, Baker Mayfield jersey. Go to TikTok, follow us for more information on that. And DM us with the phrase Rainbow Herbert for your chance to win a Justin Herbert jersey. We will be giving that away on Friday. So until Friday's show, until our Week 7 best bets, Dan, thank you for joining me, and we will talk to you soon.